On our last class, we spoke about what data analytics is, defined it, and then the different tools, and then we arrived our focus to be on MXSL and Python programming language. And we also talked about how to enter data, pivot tables, data analytics toolpack rather. So now our focus, and we agreed that our focus today will be on sort and filter and conditional formatting. So let's get started. So here is an Excel sheet that we've worked with already. Okay. Let's see if this work. Not yet. No. So let's save this work first. So here is a data sheet of a company that has their different products, the sales region, their sales data, their sales amount, and their target sales. So this sales was made in different times at different region at different dates, and they had a sales amount and then they had a target sales. So now let's go back and understand what conditional formatting is and what sort and filter is before we get started. So, refreshing back our mind, we said conditional formatting. This is the feature that helps you highlight important trends or exceptions in your data by applying different formatting rules based on certain condition. That is to say, we want to understand a trend in this noun. We want to understand which of the products made the highest sales, which of what date was the highest sales made, which sales region made the highest sales, what's the the highest target sales. So conditional formatting are the things that are going to help us do that. So the first shoe here, I have about five we're going to try out. So the first one says the sales amount, we should highlight a sales amount. That's value for the sales amount. We should highlight the for the sales amount rather. Let me rephrase that. For the sales amount, we should highlight the sales that are higher than 2,000 naira. Sorry, I'm using 2,000 naira. So it could be $2,000, any currency, depending on where you're watching from. So, but let's say we are using naira now, though the currencies are not added. After this, we'll learn how to add currencies to our figures. So first here, we'll highlight this. Go to conditional formatting here. Then highlight new row here for the first part. And then we choose a formula to determine which cells to format. And now format value is where these formulas is true. So now we're working on column D, remember? And then the first one, after your headers, we have D2. So now we're doing D2. Okay, my apologies. Remember the first rule to introducing any formula is the equation sign. So D2 is greater than 2,000. And so because we want to highlight values that are 2,000. So on this rule now, highlight values that are greater than 2,000. And then we format. The process of formatting is for whatever value that is greater than 2,000, identify it with this color. So we are choosing green first, identified by this light green, and we click on OK, and then here OK. So what do we have here? This is it. So now 3,500, 3,000, 2,1, 4,000. These are the sales amount that was generated that are greater than 2,000. And then the second one is identify underperforming sales. So now we want to know what are the sales that would have performed, because now you could see that for microwave the sales amount was 1.8, but the target sales was 2. So that's to say the buyer or the company was to sell it for 2,200, but ended up selling it for 1.8. And then there's the one they were meant to sell for 4,000, and then they ended up selling it for 4.5. So we want to know now which of these products were underperformed. which ones were sold as at a lesser price. So instead of searching through our eyes and say, okay, um, we get A was to sell at so price and it was later sold at so price. So we're going to just implement conditional formatting and it will just do that for us. So the first rule here is that we're going to select a range, and then the range will be the product name from A2 to A10. Go to conditional formatting again, highlight rows, no, new row. So choose a formula to determine which format you want to use. So the formula, you're going to first enter the equation sign, and then it's getting a bit tough but not confusing. Dollar sign D2 is less than E2, dollar sign A2. So we don't get confused there. So this is it. So the purpose of this dollar sign is that the dollar sign before the column, right? That's D and E. It's a column reference absolute. So the formula compares the sales amount and the target sales in the same row for each product. So now we click on format and we choose a color. So for underperforming, let's use red. And we click on OK, and then format OK. And then can we see this? Right? So with this now, we can see that, oh, these were the sales that these were the products that underperformed at this so date. So the third one we have here is, it says highlight specific region. That's the region is not. So we are focusing on not now. So it says, okay, let's do this. We select the region, the columns on the region. That is from B2 to B10. Then go to this and new, use this formula again. So here equation sign B2, the dollar sign. No, not this yet. Equation sign, then the dollar sign. B2 being the first is equal to quote not, and then, oh, okay, let's go back. Let's clear rows. Why? Because we did not indicate the color. So we clear rows from the selected cell, and then since it's still highlighted, we'll go back, new row, um, choose a formula, and then this is equal the equation sign B2 equal to not. Remember the not is in quotes. So first to format, we want it to be in which color? So let's say blue, light blue. So let's use this blue and click on OK. And then this. So let me explain the dollar sign. The dollar sign before the column, that's before the letter B, makes the full column a reference absolute. So the formula checks the sales region basically in the same row for each row. In the same row for each row in the selected range. Let's not get confused. We'll understand it much better as we progress. Then the fourth one It says dates. Okay, we're going to be highlighting dates based. That's the sales that was made based on the sales date. So that's to say, sales date here basically November. So we're focusing on November. We want to highlight the sales that was made on the month of November. So the rule here, we select C1, C2 rather to C10, conditional formatting, new row, and then use a formula to determine which cell. So here, the equation sign. So we're working with months now. Months, open a bracket, C2, close the bracket. The November is 11th month, right? Is equal to 11. So let me explain this formula now. This formula extracts the month. That's the number of the month from the date in cell 2 and checks if it is equal to 11. Because November is 11. So he extracts the month number and from the date in the whole cell, in the whole column rather, and checks if it's equal to 11. So now let's click on format and then choose a color. So let's go for purple. Okay, and then so now we could see the sales that was made on the whole of November. So I think it was only October 10th, 26th October, 15th October, and then 10th September. So the rest sales happened within the month of November. So now we want to highlight what are our top sales, like our top three sales amounts, the highest three rather. So let me rephrase it. The highest three sales amount that we had. Okay, that's to say the highest products that we had, because sales amount is what. Okay, let's not get confused now. Let me leave it as our top three sales amount. So here we'll select the sales amount again, C2 to C10, conditional formatting, new rule, and then okay, no, we are not going to do new rule now. Conditional formatting, we have top and bottom rules, right? So we'll click on, we have the top 10 items and then we have the bottom 10. So we'll click the bottom 10. So here, so format cells that rank in the bottom, that's the list now. That's what we are focusing on. So we'll adjust it to this, in this dialog box 10, and then change it. It's counting from bottom 10 items to 3. Three. So what color? Let's leave it as red. So initially the focus was to pick our top 10. So but now we don't have up to 10 products. So we switch to picking the least three sales, the three products with the least sales amount. And then this is what we have here. And then that will lead us back to sort and filter. But before we go back to sort and filter, I think there was an omission in the second one. Our second highlight format conditional formatting rules, which says pick up the underperforming sales, that is sales amount and target. So we'll just leave it this way since it chose from the product name. So here we could easily say, oh, this was the underperformed one. Literally all underperformed, but it was in different season, right? So now let's go back and understand what sort and filter is, because that's the next. Sort and filter, this is the basic functionalities that allows you to organize and focus on specific subsets on your data for easier analysis. So in simple terms, sort and filter. Okay, let's focus on sort. It's literally the same thing. We want to highlight products now. We want to sort by product name. We want to sort by sales. It's just simple that way. So let's get back and see how to do it. Still using this table, we want to sort by our product name. So would select this, the product name, and then go to sort and filter, custom sort, now. So leave it and expand the selection, and then we are going sort here. So we are sorting by what? We'll sort by the product name. So once you click on this drop down box, you have the product name here. We are sorting on values, and then we are leaving it at A to Z, that is in ascending order. A to Z, and then so now what happens is it rearranged it in alphabetical order. G comes first before M, before W, if you were to recite the alphabet, the ABCD, the English alphabet, and the rest. So now the next one, we want to sort by sales date, the date that the sales was made. So from the oldest to the newest, the first time that a sale was made in this company. And how do we do it? We select the sales date, the column, and then we go to sort and filter again, custom sort, expand the selection, sort. So now we are saying I will show you how we have why we have these two, sort by and then by. In case you okay, let me not rush. Let's just go one step at a time. So sort by sales date, the oldest. That's what we want to do. So now we are sorting on the sales date, values, oldest to newest. So we want from the oldest to the newest. And now you can see the first sales was made 10th September, followed by 15th October, followed by 26th October. Then you have the rest of the November. So the next one, we want to sort by sales amount, largest to the smallest. So we highlight the sales amount, sort and filter, custom sort, expand the selection, sort, so we are sorting by sales amount, values, and we said we are sorting from the largest to the smallest. So largest to the smallest, and then click on OK. Okay, it has already been done previously. Okay, I will just clear the rules on that and then repeat it. Okay. So, but even if I don't do that, we already know this is just highlighted. Click your sales amount values. You're sorting from largest to smallest. I can decide, okay, let me sort. Okay, okay, because of this here, so I can decide to delete this now and then sort from this, and then we can see it here. So the highest one is 4,000, and then the rest. So then the next one we have sort by region, and then by sales amount. So now let's see. We select the region B2 to B10, and then go to sort and filter, custom sort, expand selection. So now we are sorting by region, values, and it is to be, let's get this right, sort, okay, A to Z and not Z to A, and then now while I had two column, is I added another level, so I'm adding another level now. So I also want to sort at the same time. I want to sort on the second level now. I want to also sort by sales amount again. This now is the sales amount, values. So I want to sort from largest to the smallest, and then I click on OK. So this is it. So here the East Gadia, east, this was the highest sale it made, then followed by 1.6. Then at north, the highest sales was 4,000, followed by 2, and followed by 1.5. So now, the thing now is that understand why we had to. We want to know for each region what was their highest sales amount. For each region, what was the highest sales amount? So, and that is what we have here. And then the last year, we want to sort by our target sales. I want to sort from smallest to the largest. So we simply highlight this, sort and filter, custom sort, and then we go to expand the section. We will be using the first column. So we are sorting on sort by target sales values. And we said we are choosing from the smallest to the largest. So we already have it here. So we click on OK. So this was our list. So you see what happens for whatever you sort, it's automatically changed. So our list target sales that we made was 1, 2, and it happened in the west, and that was the oldest sales that occurred. So now with this, you could be able to answer any question that you're being asked. You could be able to analyze whatever you're being told to do. So, and that is that. So now we are not living without without an assignment to at least stretch our mind and give us that confidence that we've been able to learn what we've watched. So the first question here says it's more like it's a project-based question. So we are trying to uncover sales trend and performance insight. So here, this is the objective. It's for us to apply conditional formatting and the sorting techniques in Microsoft Excel to analyze a provided sales data set, rather, identify the key trend and present actionable insight. Don't panic. This is just English. Once you understand it, then we are good to go. So now I'm going to give you a scenario. You use this scenario to create a table. So imagine you're a junior business analyst working for a small retail company, and then the sales manager has provided you with raw sales data. Extract something similar to this table we've done now. And we want you to analyze the performance of different products across various regions. Your task is to clean, organize, just okay, let's leave it at to clean and organize, and then highlight the key aspect of data to help the sales team make informed decisions. You know, with this now that we have on our radar, on our screen, we could say we'd get A, made the list. Okay, the sales amount was 1,000. That's the proposed sales was okay. It was sold for 1,000. Let me not confuse you with the sales amount and target sales. The target sales was to it was to be sold at 1. So this target sales is more like our cost price, and then now our selling price is 1,000. That's the we get in the West. It did not do well, but at the east, the target sales was 1.5, and then it was later sold for 1.6. You see that? So we could know, okay, for this we get, it seems to be doing much better in the east compared to the west and north. So you see where data analysis comes in, right? Then at the north, it was proposed to be sold for 2,000, but it was later sold for a lesser price, 1.5. Then when it comes to the microwave was proposed to be sold for 2.2 at the east, and it was later sold for 1.8. Then at the north, it was to be sold for 2,300. It was later sold for 2.1. And then when you come for gadget B in the south, it was to be sold for 2.5, and it was later sold for 3,000. Still in south, gadget B, no, microwave rather, was supposed to sell for 2,000. That way, gadget B at the west, 3.8, and was later sold for 3.5. Now you could say that you will know which product is doing well and at which region is it doing well. That is data analysis. So with this assignment, all you have to do is just create a data set that has a product name. So choose any product of your choice, maybe 3 products, since we are replicating something that we have like this on our screen. So you choose your product name, choose sales region. So you could do north, south, east, and west this time around. And then choose your sales date, the sales amount. It should be in numbers, your target sales, and then here is your tax. You also organize that data. Open. Okay. I think I'll attach this question to the our caption in the video, but I'll still read it out. So first, the first task now is that you are to open the sales data in the Microsoft Excel. Ensure that the data has clear data. See as my own has clear column headers. You can decide to add few column. So let me add few column on mine, and then I can decide to increase the size. So remember, you can choose any font of your choice. So far, it's absolutely presentable. Then check for inconsistency or errors in data, more like incorrect date format, missing values, or whatever the need be. Just make sure it's properly arranged. Then this is the menu. Conditional formatting. So first, you're going to highlight the top performance. That is the product now that is performing best. With all we've done now, you could do it. And then you're going to identify the underperforming sales. Then for the region, you're going to apply conditional formatting, highlight all sales record from a specific region, and then tell us which of the region is underperforming in each product. So it's a long assignment, but let's just start with this one first and see how it goes. So with this, we've come to the end of this class, and our next class will be on pivot tables. And that is that. Thank you.